the conditioning coach didn't understand that the body actually has two types of different fascial tissues. One type is a very stiff, what we call a Viking type of tissue, which responds well to stretching. The other is a bendy person like yourself and myself, and that would be known as a temple dancer, which sort of people look at me and go, "You, temple dancer? Okay." Um, but
I
it's
see
interesting
it.
because I know you do. Thank you for that. But it's interesting because all that means is there's cells in the fascial tissue. Remembering the fascia is the fabric that is nebulous. It's everywhere in our body. There's more fascia in the brain than there is grey matter and fat. There's more fascia in your gut than what there is organs and intestines. So fascia is everywhere, and it has the majority, it has 4/5 of the nerve endings in our body in fascia. So fascia is important. But the thing with fascia is for people who are bendy like you and I, who are temple dancers, we have less fibroblasts. And the fibroblasts are cells that we call the gardeners. They're the gardeners of the body that eat the old fascia, lay new fascia down. The warriors, they have lots of fibroblasts. So if they damage fascial tissue, they heal quickly. We don't. So what's important for us is we can adapt and manipulate our bodies really easily and sometimes too easily, and we can adapt and cheat really well. And if we're stretching tissue that's already bendy, what we do is we take the integrity of our joints now and we jeopardize those joints. We make them too available to be broken. So I had to come up with, well, I wanted to come up with something for myself that I could do because I knew I had to do something, but stretching wasn't for me. So then I started from a bodywork position, I started to notice that most areas that people glue up are in the bony structures. Front of chest, lateral ribs, front of hips, back of hips, side of hips. Knees are a big area that no one goes to, and of course the ankles. But the thing is, it's the things in between, the calves, the hamstrings, the groins, it's the lats, the chest, it's all the stuff that in between gets broken that we address with stretching. So a fascial mobilizer is a low speed, low force movement that addresses the bony structures and the fascial structures of the body in a pattern that the body has to move in. So you think about it. We've already spoken. We do a sit and reach. Some people would say that's a squatting pattern, which I would agree it is. But if you use the word sit and reach, you only sit to where you feel the first tension. Now, what I might do with that sitting pattern is I might manipulate where the feet are. Now, as we know, Ness, there's 69 different foot positions, and yet we seem to squat in one. But every time I change a foot position, it changes everything. It becomes a triplanar or multiplanar calf stretch. It becomes a multiplanar thigh, adductor, hamstring stretch, if that's what you want to call it. It addresses the pelvis multi-dimensionally as it does the trunk. But it addresses the fascial mobilizer, not a neuromuscular mobilizer, because you can still mobilize muscles, but that generally has more speed. And what we need to understand is that if we want to recondition, if you want to reset, if you want to remodel fascia, it has to be low speed, low force. And doing it in a pattern in which, looks like life. Walking, stepping patterns, reach pattern, whatever.